No, unfortunately, the world is not as simple as that. It's not so that the climate change crisis disappeared just because we were busy handling the economic crisis. Look, every week now we get almost new reports telling us how urgent it is actually to get our act together. And we do not even need to have all these reports. See what is happening in Thailand, see what is happening in Africa, see the hunger at the Horn of Africa, see what is happening even in Europe, see what is happening in Texas. 40 days where the temperature did not go below the 40 degrees. You have so much evidence that is very much in line with what scientists have warned us, and that is why Durban should be about how do we get our act together. We do not need more evidence now. Europe would like to see a globally legally binding deal. We know we are not going to get that. But Durban must implement what we agreed in Copenhagen and in Cancun. But in a political process, just to implement old decisions will not be enough to keep the momentum. Therefore, we must have new progress. One of the areas where we can have progress is on the second commitment period. Europe is ready to take a second commitment period, but only if other countries tell us when are they willing to follow us. Yes, we can have a second commitment period, but what should come next? What after the second commitment period? What will China do? What will the US do? We need at least to be able to adopt a roadmap for this in Durban. That is one key ask that we have from Europe, not for our sake, but for the sake of climate. There is no question that we in the developed countries, we will have to do more and earlier than those in the developing countries. But the problem is just, for instance, Europe, we are only accounting for 11% of global emissions. We cannot handle the climate crisis alone. All major economies need to be part of the solution. And if we have one lesson learned in Europe, it helps when you set targets. It helps for governments to stay focused. It helps to actually deliver. And what we need now globally is that we deliver. And that's why it's still important to pursue to have a global framework where all major economies will have to commit. Not the same, it has to be common but differentiated. But whatever we commit, no matter what kind of country we are, if I commit something and you commit something, it must have the same legal value. We are doing a lot in Europe. We are setting our own targets, not only for CO2 reductions, also for increase in renewables, improvement in energy efficiency. Right now we are trying to increase our effort in energy efficiency, insulating our houses, making our transport systems, our cars, our trucks, the systems itself much more efficient. There are so many things each of us can do, where it's not just about climate, but it's about using our resources and our energy much more efficient, and by that we can save money. And in Europe we also can see that if you have intelligent climate policies, you can use it as a lever, a driver for your innovation and for your exports, and by that also for job creation. And that is why climate policies and growth actually can go hand in hand, and we believe that Europe is proof of this.